Hello friends, and in this video we're going to be looking at what are the things you should be know of before doing a packaging, collecting a files in After Effects. So let's jump on right in. Number one, After Effects does not collect the used fonts when you do the collect files. So right now I got this project file, and let's just say I wanted to collect this file, probably hand it over to somebody. So sure, I'm gonna go up right up here, file, dependency, and collect files. I'm gonna click on collect files. I'm gonna click OK, and as you can see, yes, it did collected the Illustrator and Photoshop file that I had in there, but it did not collected the fonts. So if you were to sending a package for somebody, you better should also include the fonts, because they may have the fonts what you used in your project file. So in After Effects, how would you know the what fonts that you've been used? By the way, I made one script, I'll link down up in there. So that script will gonna let you know what fonts you used in the After Effects file. So I'm gonna run that script. As you can see, I've used this font in my After Effects file. Let's just say if you don't have the script, and how would you want to know what fonts you used in After Effects? So for that, you have to generate a report in the collect files. I'm gonna go up file, dependency, and the collect file same, but thing is I want only generate reports. Alright, so I saved that report on in here. Let's just open that. After Effects also do included what font I used, Gabriel, just one font I had in After Effects, so that font also listed in here. But the thing is, sometimes this generating report won't include all the fonts you used in After Effects, so you better watch out that as well, or use my script. So I've got this Illustrator file and the Photoshop, and those files also have a fonts inside of that file. So you also have to include the fonts that been used inside of those Photoshop, Illustrator, what all the external software files that you've been linked in After Effects. You have to include what fonts you used in those files also. So I'm adding the Illustrator file that I linked in the After Effects. So sure enough, I do have some text layers in here. So how would you know what fonts you used? So go up, type, and then find and replace the font. And in here, the Illustrator is showing what fonts I used. I used this DIN Pro, condensed, medium, and the another is alphabetic. So you can also save list. I opened up that list. So as you can see, Illustrator also doing showing the what fonts I used in that Illustrator files, and I have to include these fonts also. Unfortunately, Photoshop won't show what fonts used, kind of like a list that what Illustrator is shown. You have to export as a PDF, then you have to view it in Acrobat. I'm sure there can be some script might get done that job. If you know that, let me know in the comment section. It will be helpful for everybody. File, save as. We're saving the file as a PDF. On the format, I'll choose a Photoshop PDF. So I'm adding the Acrobat to know what fonts used in this PDF. File, and then document properties, and under the fonts, so I basically use the same font what I used in Illustrator. So let's just create a folder in here. Let's just call it used fonts. So in the font book application, if you were in Mac, you got the search bar at the very top. I'm gonna type that. Here it is, Finder. I'm gonna include that font. In the Illustrator file, I had two fonts, right? Two font family. One is DIN Pro, and the another one is alphabetic soap, right? Let me search this font in the font book application. As you can see, I couldn't able to search that because it's Adobe fonts. So this font book application will only show the fonts that you natively installed or natively have the OTT or TTF fonts on your system. If you used Adobe Creative Cloud fonts or something like, Google fonts that embedded, something like that, if you use that kind of the fonts, it won't show up. So here is that Adobe font that I used. It's called Alphabetic Soup. I'm going to include this Adobe page, Adobe font page, a screenshot in that used font folder, so that whoever designer or the editor, if they saw that, probably gonna understand I used the Adobe font. When you do a collect file in After Effects, it also won't collect the what file or assets you used in Illustrator file. So in the Illustrator file, I used an image, which is this one, and After Effects, it did not collect that image. So far, you have to either embed that image in the Illustrator of itself, or you can also collect files in the Illustrator also. So click on the image you want to embed, and as you can see, I see this option called embed, and just click OK. By the way, you have to do this image embedding thing before you doing the project collect file in After Effects. Let's just say you embedded the Illustrator, the images, what all the images you used in Illustrator file. So Illustrator files become huge. It's gonna have all this raster images on itself, right? And then when you do the collect files in After Effects, what it's gonna do, it's gonna take that Illustrator files only and gonna store it in somewhere where you save, right? It's gonna collect files. So in that Illustrator of itself, those images will gonna stay upon. So when somebody opened up that Illustrator file, they're not gonna have a missing files errors. And the third thing you have to know before doing collect file is you should not have a too lengthy file names and too many folder structure. I have this Photoshop file named too lengthy, right? And also have that Photoshop file, located too many folders inside. So this folder structure also, whatever the folder structure you would gonna have in the After Effects project bin, when you do the collect file, those will be, reflect, those will be, those folder structure will also be remain. The problem of this having a lengthy name and also having too many folders is when somebody opened up in Windows, they'll get the error pop-up saying 260 character exceeding pop-up. So what I would do, I'm going to drag this Photoshop file under, and I probably also rename in here. By the way, this character renaming you have to do in Finder. If you do that in After Effects, it won't work out. So I'm going to delete all these unnecessary folders. So yes, I linked the files, so I got this proper folder structure, and now I would do the collect files. On contrast, yes, you have to do this process before you've been doing collect files. Here is the updated collected file, and then I also have this used fonts. So now if I zip these files, if I zip this file and send this zip file to somebody, designer or editor, they're not gonna have images or assets missing files problem. They're not gonna have fonts missing problem. Pro tip: you don't need to collect the project files in After Effects if you already have a proper folder structure. I have these things to remember before collect files in After Effects. Inside of this folder, I saved all these folders to make up this project file, and also I do include the fonts. So what I can do, I can simply compress this and send it to somebody. They're not gonna get any problem. But this trick won't work out if you pull the assets from many locations like desktop, like download, like document. Hopefully this video helped you. If it did, please subscribe and probably send it over to your colleagues of editor or designer colleagues, so they'll know what are the things to be remembered before they've been doing the collect files thing.